Oil is the most important commodity on the planet. If you are interested in global economics and financial markets, then it is essential that you understand the oil market and how oil impacts the entire world. In this video series, we're going to explore the world of oil, starting with the basics of where it is and how we use it, right up to the effects it has on geopolitics, conflicts, and global markets. If you are someone who is looking to get into investing or wants to understand the world economic system on a deeper level, then you need to understand oil. So let's start with the basics. What is oil used for? The primary use of oil is for transportation fuel. Through the refining process, crude oil can be transformed into petrol, or gasoline if you're in America, and diesel. Together these account for almost all of the fuel sources for our cars, trucks, motorcycles, ships, and planes. Oil is the source of energy which keeps our world moving. It is how we drive to work in the morning, how we get our food from the farms to our supermarkets, and how we get all of the products from around the world into our shops. Without oil, the modern world would grind to a halt. Oil is also used in the creation of petrochemicals. This is an essential part of the creation of goods which we buy and use. Almost every product we own or buy has some form of oil used in its production. All plastic items are produced using oil. The clothes we wear require oil to be made, and hundreds of products which make the modern world are created by some process involving oil. Surprisingly, very little oil is used for electricity generation. Many people believe that without oil the lights would go out, but this is not the case. As we can see from this chart, the main sources of energy for electricity generation comes from natural gas, renewables, coal, and nuclear power. You can see at the bottom of the chart that very little electricity is created from oil sources. Where is oil found in the world? Oil is found in many countries around the world. The map shows the countries around the world with proven oil deposits. The darker the colour means the more deposits they have. The country with the largest deposits are Venezuela, followed by Saudi Arabia, and then the USA. Now, just because a country has oil, it doesn't mean that they can always extract it. Extraction is an expensive process and can be technically difficult. Therefore, extraction occurs mostly in the places where A, the cost is low, or B, the technical expertise is high. Many countries use foreign companies to extract their oil for them. These countries lead the way in oil production. Types of crude and the refining process. So not all crude is made the same. Some are much lighter and easier to refine into useful products. Brent crude from the UK and West Texas Intermediate, or WTI, are some of the best and most valuable crudes and make up 2 of the 3 oil benchmark prices. Other crudes are extremely heavy and dense, like the tar sands of Canada. These require much more processing in order to make it smooth and usable. Oil around the world is graded based on its heaviness and density and is given an API gravity score to reflect this. API stands for American Petroleum Institute, which created the measure. The higher the score, the lighter and less dense the crude. Who refines the oil? Oil would not be usable in manufacturing or our daily lives without refining it first. The refining process requires a very high level of technical expertise and factories with advanced technology. It is for these reasons that most of the world's oil is sold to a handful of countries to do the refining. The majority of crude oil was refined in the USA, China, and Russia in 2022. Who consumes the oil? The USA is the largest consumer of oil on the planet, accounting for 20% of all oil consumption. This isn't a surprise, as a large percentage of the population own cars, and cars are their main mode of transport. Also, trucks and planes carry goods over huge distances. Surprisingly, the USA has more oil consumption than the entire EU. In second place is China, with about 15% of world oil consumption. What is OPEC? The term Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC, refers to a group of 13 of the world's major oil exporting nations. OPEC is a cartel. This means that these countries get together and decide how to control their supply of oil to the rest of the world, which has a huge impact on prices. If they want the price to rise, then they can reduce the supply, and if they want the price to fall, then they can increase it. Significantly, the USA, Canada and Russia are all outside of the OPEC organization, which allows the rest of the world to benefit from the increased competition when deciding who to purchase their oil from. So why does oil matter so much? Well, without oil, our modern lives would not exist. The creation of the products you wear and use on a daily basis are only possible with oil, and without oil you wouldn't have access to them in the first place. Access to oil directly impacts any economy's ability to grow and put more people into employment. Without it, many countries would go back to subsistence farming and a more agricultural lifestyle. The Just Stop Oil movement might think that we can replace all oil with renewable energy, but they don't consider oil's impact on the production of goods. Finally, oil gives power to militaries. All military vehicles use some form of fuel derived from oil. The reality is, you either have access to oil and grow stronger, or you don't have access and take a back seat on the world stage. So, what do you think about oil? Leave your comments below. If you are interested in world economics and geopolitics, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you know anyone who might like this video, then please share it with them. Alright guys, thank you so much and see you on the next video.